Hey, it's Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to make an everyday, just general wreath that can be hanging for months and months if you wish. This was a wreath kit, so this is the instructions for actually 2 wreath kits. One, it was for Count Your Blessings, all the same ribbon. The only difference was one included some greenery and one didn't. So be sure you're watching and be sure you're paying attention to, which kit you've purchased. Again, not all of them came with the greenery. The first set did, and then the second set didn't. But either way, if you haven't purchased this kit, totally fine. We'd love to have you stay. We're going to make a pancake wreath today, which is going to be round, about 24 inches wide, but still about 5.5 inches thick. That includes the bow. The wreath itself will be about 2.5 inches. Still really, really nice with all the mesh and ribbon. I've already cut this off. We'll get to that part in a second. This is just what's left over, so I'm going to set this aside. Also, for cutting instructions, I've gone ahead and pre-cut everything, but for cutting instructions and just general tips on the supplies that you get in your kits, there is a video here that you can go to. It just says cutting instructions, and it's actually an Easter kit, but it is the same thing, the same principles apply as far as what you're looking for to cut and identify your tails and what would be the bow. So in this kit, the tails are the hydrangea and the plaid. Love this combination. I cut them 14 inches long. I dovetailed the ends. You'll also see that I have my sign is prepped. Again, to see how I prepped this, make sure you're watching that video, that cutting instructions video. All right, we're going to get started today. We're going to use our 14-inch frame of the pancake bundle. The 14-inch frame is the one I use for the widest, for the biggest. Well, that's also a lie. That's the one I use the most. I do use the 10-inch frame. Also, if you watch that instructions video, you'll see how in your kit you'll have a roll of mesh, but how you'll get enough mesh for both this frame and this frame. So again, that cutting instruction video, great video. Even if you didn't purchase the kit, it's a great tips for you to check it out. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and our sign extender. We're going to work with the 14-inch frame today. Move those out of the way. And your kit did come with a whole roll of your 10-inch mesh. Again, I've already pre-cut that and set aside what I'm going to use, where I'm going to use it. And you'll know what I mean if you're watching that video, that cutting instructions. What I'm going to do, and you guys, I don't mean to keep referencing back to a different video, but to make this video go about 20 minutes quicker, I decided to just do one cutting video and then just reference back to that for all the kits, which is working out very nicely. Okay, so our pancake frame has spots specifically for your pipe cleaners. Very easy. You don't have to measure, you don't have to count, you don't have to anything. Wherever there's a notch, that's where you're going to put your hole in, your pipe cleaner. Wherever there's a notch, there's a matching pipe cleaner. So I have a notch, I have a pipe, I have a hole. I'm going to put my pipe cleaner in there. And then I'm going to make sure I twist that right on the wood, but close to that notch. And that'll just help with making sure that's a little more distinct with the layers and separating when it comes to adding in our ribbons and things. And you'll see what I mean just a little bit. But I just make sure, small detail, but it is actually a big step that I want to make sure I point out, because it does really help in the long run to see those layers. Now I'm making sure I'm tying this nice and tight, crisscross, twist, nice and tight, so that it's not just sitting in there floating. It is actually secured nice and tight to that frame. Now again, I've already pre-cut all of our mesh, and I have our sign prepped and ready to go. Our ribbons are prepped and ready to go, so we're going to move along pretty quickly here. So I have our 10-inch mesh, so it's 10 inches wide, and they're 20 inches long. However, if you watch the cutting instructions, you'll see I tell you to take the first 6 pieces, use it for your 10-inch frame. Take the next 6 pieces, use it for the outside of your 14-inch frame, and then your last 6 and use them for the inside. Now, in order for me to save a little bit, and in light of getting rid of a lot of my old stuff, instead of opening up a new roll, I had a bunch of small rolls left over that I started just cutting so I can use them up. So this might look a little smaller than what you might see in that cutting instruction video, but I also thought that maybe this was a good idea to use the smaller pieces so that you can see, you know, sometimes it goes okay, sometimes it's a little tougher. So let's just use this one as an instructional video and see how it goes. All right, I'm going to ruffle right up the center, just ruffle. Now my thumb has started drying and cracking in that one special spot, so I have a band-aid on it, not to distract you, but so okay, see how it doesn't quite do what the other pieces do. If you notice in that instructional video, it doesn't quite do what that video shows us, but let's just see if we can't get this in and make it do what we want it to. It might be a little more effort on our end. Crisscross, twist, twist, overlap here, overlap here. Okay, not bad, not bad. Now, my personal, everyone asks, you know, what's your favorite mesh to use? What's your favorite mesh to use? My personal favorite is what I'm using right here. I know that might sound so crazy, but I love, well, any kind of just the jute. This one has a little bit of jute going through it. Some have jute and like a matte color burlap foil going through it. Some has, you know, the border is just the extra. Anyways, it's just the jute. Absolute favorite. I love the neutral. I love the just the support it gives everything else in our frame, in our design. I love the plain. Now, second to that is the jute with the colored foil stripes going through it. Love those. And then everything else kind of falls next. After those, everything kind of is the same to me. You know, sometimes I use colored. I'm trying to use colored more often because I know y'all like colored, and so you see in our kits, our recent kits, we've been using lovely, really pretty, colorful mesh. But my personal favorite is just this. I know that sounds crazy, but if you follow me for a while, you've heard that several times. It's just so nice. You can put anything with it. And some people might look, oh, it's brown. It's not brown. It's, first of all, it's like, I call it a burlap color. You can call it neutral, you can call it beige, you can call it whatever you want, but it's a neutral color. And you can put anything with it, anything, everything. So that's why I like it the most, because no matter what, as long as I have a roll of this, I'll be able to make a wreath. All right, so I'm going very specific here, very specific with our pancake frame recipe. So I'm going to go ruffle all the way up the center, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, and put it right down on top. Now you might see me kind of, I just shifted a little bit and kind of moved it this way. That's so that my mesh didn't come straight down on top of those. But when I got to the frame, I did go straight down on top. And then I'm going to overlap this piece, overlap the top, and then kind of snuggle them down in there so that my ruffle is mostly round, but flat like a pancake. It kind of stuck, y'all. It just happened. Well, it didn't intend to be that way. It just did. Okay, so I'm ruffling all the way up here. It's always nice if you are selling wreaths. The holidays, you know, all of the different holidays, even if you don't personally celebrate the holidays. You know, some people don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is always a huge seller for me. every January. It's whether at the boutique or on Etsy, has always been a big seller for me. Now that might be different for everyone, but it's always nice to have just a normal, everyday design available. I'm gonna set that aside for now. Took those off again. I talked about the clamps in that instruction video. So from here, we're gonna put our ribbon on. I'm gonna put our ribbon on. I always put my favorite on the top. Again, they're 14 inches long. Mesh is 20 inches, ribbons are 14. So I always put my favorite on the top. If you know me at all, you know that I am obsessed with plaid. I love plaid. It's my favorite. I know polka dots are great, stripes are great, but plaid's got me. So I put the plaid, even though it's my favorite of the two, quite honestly. The plaid is a supporting ribbon, and so I put that on the bottom. Okay, I want to see those hydrangeas in this case. The hydrangea ribbon, beautiful. Not my personal favorite of the two, because there's a plaid there. It's always gonna be my favorite. So right now I'm just putting these in nice and quick, and then what we'll do is I'm putting them in, ruffling them up, pushing those out towards me so everything faces the edge. Okay, nothing goes in towards the center. Crisscross, nice and tight. Twist, 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 7 or 8 times. I put them in there like this so that so that I don't have to pick up my wire cutter 12 times during this design. I can just pick it up twice, right? Put these in, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Twist, 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 twist. See if that light helps there. Push it out towards me. My nice Princess Belle. This Band-Aids. I don't know where I got them from. All the way up. Okay, now that they're all in and out facing towards me, I'm not going to put anything else in this layer. So now I can just go through and take my wire cutter, and I'm cutting off, leaving about an inch there. Okay, leaving about an inch. Very important. I don't want, when I pull on this, I don't want them to come apart. Now, this, although it looks lovely, you want to make sure you are doing this next step. It's important. I have 2 ribbons there. I want to see both ribbons, okay? I'm going to push this in and push down. Push it in and push down. And then I'm going to pull these up and down. I'm going to pull them side to side. Pull them up and down, pull them side to side. Okay? Push it in, push down, up and down, side to side. Up and down. Now I keep the pattern, okay? I keep the pattern. You're going to see plaid hydrangea, plaid hydrangea, plaid hydrangea, plaid hydrangea. You're going to see that all the way around. It's easy to look at. It's simple. It's soothing. Your eye isn't going, wait a minute, why are those two touching? Why does it look so chunky? You're making the transition from, the whole wreath, making people's eye go around the whole thing, not stopping. It just looks blended nicely. I know some of you text me and you're like, mine doesn't look like yours. What am I doing wrong? Well, the first thing usually is that you got your ribbons touching. Now I know some people are like, oh, well, I was just trying to be different. That's fine. You can be different. You can do whatever you want. This is creating, especially if you got this as a kit. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. But if you're asking why it's different or it looks different or doesn't look the same, typically it's because you got your ribbons touching. Okay? It's just easier to look at when they are all separated. Now, once I do separate them and put them in place, I'm not going to touch them again until the very end. Until the very end, I'm not going to touch them again. Because I just don't want to spend the extra time doing that, right? If I spent time touching every single one of the ribbons every time it gets out of place, we're going to be here for a while. Okay? There we go. All right, now I'm going to do the same exact thing that we did on the inside, I'm going to do on the outside. Now, because I was trying to use up some of my own mesh and I didn't open up a new one of these is short. You can see this is right around the center of that frame, a roll, right? Nice and tightly wound, but we're going to make sure it does what we want it to do. But one of these pieces was short by about 3 inches. But because I'm putting it on the inside, and each of the inside pieces completely overlap, so the outside you see it overlaps just a little bit from each one another, these inside pieces are going to completely overlap. So if at this point you're like, uh-oh, I can still see the frame, don't worry. We still got some things to do, okay? We still got some things to do. So I'm going to do the same thing, overlap here. Overlap here. Now the mesh, it's going to fray. All of your mesh that you cut is going to fray. Want to know why? Because it's a woven material. And when you cut it, it's like, wait a second, that's not how it was intended to be. Why did you do that? Now I'm going to come apart, which is fine. It's not going to come apart all the way, but we're going to do our best to make sure we camouflage it, we hide it, we don't play with it and make it worse. Okay, I'm just going to put those in nice and gentle, pulling out that pipe cleaner from underneath, crisscross, twist, twist, overlap over here, overlap over here. Now, what you're seeing now is this piece just completely overlapped this piece, and what you're seeing less of is that frame. And here's the part where I say, like I always do, now it's kind of funny to me, so I just always make sure I say it. No one wants to see that frame more than I do. I think this is the short piece. That is the short piece. No one wants to see that frame more than I do. Okay, it's our patent pending. It's our patent pending. Mine and Damon from Deco Exchange are co-patent owners on the frame, and so no one wants to see it more than I do. I love the frame. Your customer doesn't want to see it, right? They want to see the pretty mesh, the ribbons, the sign, the bow. They want to see all the extra stuff that sold them on this design because, you know, that's the pretty stuff. So it's our job as a wreath maker to hide the frame. Listen, I know that that frame's in there, and I'm proud of it, and I'm happy with it, but your customer, they don't care, right? They probably don't care. They just want to know your wreath is going to be pretty, it's going to hang on their door, it's easy to hang, you know, whatever they need to know for the aesthetically pleasing aspect. They don't want to see the frame, okay? I'm going again right down on top of there, right down to the frame. I'm not letting that mesh float in there. I'm pushing it right down. I'm still overlapping here, overlapping here. Really pretty. Again, not messing with those ribbons yet, or the ribbons. I'm just going to wait until I'm all done, and then I'll grab all of them. See, look, it's really fraying. It's fraying. That's just how it goes. Come on, let go. Just how it goes. So if you purchase the kit with the greenery, you're still not doing anything with it yet. Okay? If you have the kit that included the greenery, you're not doing anything with it yet. You're going to work on that on the top. On the top. I'm going to plug in my glue gun here just for extra, in case you want an extra layer or a little extra security for that greenery when we put it in. I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second. Okay. Last piece. Now this is the piece that's little, that was not long enough, and I just decided to use it anyways. Just a little tip. So this would end up being about 17 inches. It's going to go right here. And it's going to be just fine. Now instead of putting the mesh in where I've been putting it in like this, side to side, right? I'm going to put it in like this to make sure that the outside here, you see how this has that ruffled look? I'm just going to make sure this gets that ruffled look here. Okay, and then no one's gonna know. You know that saying that no one's gonna know. Perfect. Okay? Now, if you can tell, you won't tell in just a couple minutes. All right? So now we're gonna go in the inside. Now, I've already cut our greenery pieces, which is gonna be so fun, clearly, because they're all stuck together. I've already cut our greenery pieces. All right, right off the stem, and I'm gonna push that up just a little bit so it's nice and a little bunched. This is one of my favorite little greeneries. I love this piece, but I'm gonna leave it so it's kind of bunched up here on a longer stem. Let me just separate these so I'm not screaming at them. We're trying to put them in. Now, all kind of bunched up, but not all the way bunched up, but kind of bunched up. And they weren't all equal. Like some of these pieces had one extra little bunch. So they weren't all equal. That's fine. Some of them look really busy. And this one doesn't. I think I'm going to put this one wherever the bow goes. Put this one under the bow. All right. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take my ribbon. It's going to go in the exact same. Now, if you purchase the one without the greenery, you're going to do exactly like I did here. Do the same thing here, and then be done. Okay? Exactly the same here. Be here, and then you'll move on. With the one with the greenery, we have one more step. So I'm going to scrunch it up, face it out towards me. Okay, crisscross, nice and tight, twist. If you have the greenery, you're gonna take your greenery piece. Well, hold on. You're gonna spread those apart. I'm starting to get ahead of myself, so spread those apart. Okay, spread them apart. Take your greenery piece. Now I only twisted that twice, so I could be nice and tight. Twice, okay? I'm going to take my greenery, and right here where the whole thing starts and right bunches up, I'm going to put that right down in where the pipe cleaner is, nice and tight, crisscross, twist, 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 nice and tight. Just going to wrap it around there just for fun. I don't have to. Then I'm going to take just extra. Oopsie, I don't want that little piece in there. Just extra. Just for fun, I'm going to take an extra little tiny piece of glue, just to be a little bit extra, okay? And I'm going to do that same thing all the way around, all right? Do the same thing all the way around, okay? Now, without the without the greenery, again, you're just going to put it in just like you did the first layer. Put it down in there, and then here's where you would twist, 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 twist. Okay? And then cut it off. But we're just going to leave those ready for us. So sometimes I'm just going to tell you, I'm always about being super, it's not even about being super honest. I overshare. That's fine. But for this ribbon, the last part of it started to get like wrinkly and crinkly. And so I use my straightening iron, right? Just like your curling iron, straightening for your hair. I use like a little ironing instead of a little iron. I just use a little straightener, and straighten them. Now you can't do that on all the ribbon because some of the ribbon they don't like the heat. Okay, so test just a little spot. Again, this is for both the Count Your Blessings that had the greenery and didn't have the greenery. The only difference was one had the greenery, one didn't. Everything the same, the ribbons were the same, the cuts were the same, everything else was the same. Just one had greenery, one didn't. Now, to keep it a little more budget friendly for both for sale, right, for you as a consumer to make, and for your customer to keep some things on a lower cost, I do this a lot. I only put one layer of greenery in there right at that on the very top. Now if you're going to do that, you're only going to add one layer of greenery. I highly suggest you do put it on the top, because if you put it on the bottom, it's really going to get lost. If you put it on the top and the bottom gets highlighted and you can see it. It's not worthless. But if you have the choice, if you only have 6 stems and you have the choice, I always go on the top so I can make sure I see it. Okay, so nice and pretty here. I'm just going to add some greenery, right? I'm just going to add some greenery. Let me see what's left on that stem to see. Oh, they were all kind of smaller. So there were a couple of bigger pieces, and there were 3 bigger pieces that had an extra little bunch on there. All right, so let's try to make sure we go every other. All right, let's try to make sure we go every other. 1, 2, 3. Well, there was 4. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to add a little tiny bit of greenery just right to the top. And no one would probably notice that, but of course I always notice, just because I do it so often. I'm going to stem that in there, right on the top. Just making it a little more, just a little more everything. Okay, a little more everything. Now, if I'm adding in greenery to a pancake wreath, if I'm adding in just a couple of pieces, it's okay that it's flat like this. If I'm adding in a whole bunch, I might add some mesh at that point and have, a variety of different recipes that we use when we're adding in more, because I don't know if you saw the purple cross design, the pink Santa design, the red Santa design. All of those were much larger designs than the pancake wreath. So the pancake frame, the only thing you can make on the pancake frame is not just the pancake, right? There's definitely so many other things that you can make on this frame. It's the 12 twist tie recipe that I use all the time. So, not that this is really cute, y'all. Not that it has to be, a flat design, but the 12 twist tie recipe really helps. It makes it easy. It helps you stretch your supplies, all those things. I'm just going to add a little bit of gluey glue to all of these just for extra. Usually I don't add extra glue. I just am this time. If you want to be extra, I think I put glue there already. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, so if you watched the prep video, you know how to prep your sign. Okay. Typically you see me using staple gun and I stapled to the back. But recently I've been using these just because it's been easier. My staple gun has been giving me trouble. So again, watch that video for the prep of your sign. You're going to peel off the back, add a little bit of glue, put it on there, add some clamps, let it dry. And now that's where we're at right now. And then we're going to make our bow. So your bow, super pretty, very complimenting in this design. Love these ribbons together. It's so cute. I don't know. I love like this. I don't know, makes me feel like a garden. Like it just makes me feel like I'm in a garden. I don't know. Okay, very natural and simple, and I love this one. All right, so we're going to go not all, but most of our bows start with a 7-inch tail. Okay, and then a 6-inch loop. So we're going to come out here to 6. I'm going to pinch here. Okay, pull those apart. Twist. Loop. Pinch. And twist. And loop. Now, each of these layers have 2 loops on one side, 1 loop on the other side with 2 tails. Okay, 2 loops, 1 loop, 2 tails. And then every time I put this in, I'm going to make sure I go opposite sides with the 2 loops. So this time I'm going over here, the next time I'm going to go over here. Okay, from here, I'll do that all at once. From here, I'm going to go with the cute little Swiss dot polka dots, making everything a little bit smaller. So as long as you know the first layer, 7-inch tail, 6-inch loop, everything gets smaller from there. Okay? Everything gets a little bit smaller. 1/2 inch smaller, a finger smaller, just a little bit smaller. Okay? Same thing, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and twist. Now again, here's the 2 loops. It's going to go over here. Did I put that in right? Yep, okay. Now, I love making bows, but my hands don't love it when I do. I have carpal tunnel pretty bad. And so that's why I love using this, the Easy Bow Maker, just to help me keep in between, holding on to it while because I enjoy making this part. My hands don't mind, but when it gets, to where I'm holding all of them in the same hand and it's kind of cramping, because Lord knows I have like a death grip on there and it's nice and tight. And so, yeah, I can't do that anymore. Pinch, twist, and loop. So I always put the layers in the Easy Bow Maker to help hold it for me. I just want to make sure when I go on top that last layer underneath doesn't shift, like the ribbon doesn't like wobble, right? And then of course we're coming in really cute with the butterflies. I think this is what makes it like kind of gardeny for me. But the last layer always has a little loop on the top. And twist. Now this is the easiest form of adding greenery to your pancake wreaths. Obviously, you can add a lot more. We have so many other videos inside our coaching group where, we're making bigger designs, we're adding all sorts of things, pick sprays, lots of other greenery and florals. So if you're looking for that sort of thing, we also have that available too. All right, right down on top. Now again, I looked for the 2 loops, not including this one because this is just the little one that goes on the top. So nothing that wasn't included. Okay, so before I grab us up here, maybe I'll just grab us up first. All right, nice and tight. I'm going to lift off. Before I lift all the way off, I'm going to push down nice and tight. Lift it all the way, the rest. Now, typically when I'm doing this for myself, or by myself, I do use a zip tie here. Just again for my hands, it's been helping. So just because it wasn't included in the kit, I'm going to make sure, just make it just like this, nice and tight. Okay, now I have a mess kinda, and then I'm just going to take our scissors and cut our tails here. Now once they get in the design, I can definitely, you know, cut them shorter if I need them to. Just for right now, we'll just eyeball it, see where we need it, what we think we need it. And we can always make them shorter. Okay, and then from here, of course, we're gonna fluff the bow. Y'all, if you're watching this far, we do have several other videos available for you on both our Facebook and our YouTube. You just make sure you're checking that out. Don't forget to follow us for sure. Pull those apart. Make sure you're subscribed to our email list so that if you are interested in kits, our email friends get first dibs on our kits. You can find everything you need over at learnfrommelissa.com. Just put in your email address there, and then a list of links will come up. It's super easy to follow. Oh, I missed that one. I'm just trying to make sure I always keep a pattern here. So I have like the 2.5 inch, then the Swiss dot, 2.5 inch, Swiss dot, 2.5 inch. And then I go to the, so that was the first and second layer. But I'm going to go to second and third layer, which was the plaid, the polka dots, the plaid, the polka dots, the plaid, the polka dots. Then the third and fourth layer, butterfly, plaid, butterfly, plaid, butterfly, plaid. So I just want to make sure that you're spreading them out and making sure you can see all of them. Up here, missed another one. Making sure you can see all of those ribbons as the layers go up. Now, you know, sometimes that shifts, obviously, but I am the boss of the ribbon. It's going to do what I say until, you know, until it doesn't. Where's this one going to go? Oh, this one's going to go up. This one's going to go this way. This one's going to go over here like this. Super cute. Now, the longest part of your bow is that first layer and those tails. That's the longest part of your bow, this bow. And so I want those to come down off the top, off the edge, right? I want them to come down off the edge of that wreath. Super, super duper cute. So nice and fluffy here. Really, really cute. Love it. All right, we're going to add our pipe cleaners. Okay, just going to slide them in the back. Crisscross, twist, twist, slide it through the back, put it in, crisscross, twist, twist. Now our sign needs to take up and hide 4 of our pipe cleaners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect, just like that. And then our bow is gonna take on the rest. Super, super, super cute. Oh, I love this one. I love it. All right, I'm going to take those pipe cleaners and go straight through the mesh, looking for the frame so I can bring that in and wrap the pipe cleaners around the frame. I'll turn over and show you in just a second what I'm talking about. This is really, Really cute. Again, you just want to make sure that you are definitely covering those pipe cleaners, because now not only do we have the pipe cleaner, we have that the little bit of the glue there. We have your open stem from the floral, or from the greenery rather. So we want to really make sure that it is, you know, getting in there. And hiding all the things that we don't want anybody to see. Right? Okay. Push that down in. Making sure it's not looking crooked. Okay. I'm going to take it and flip it over. Nice and tight. Just wrap it around the whole frame. Now see those extra holes here? I could have just grabbed that pipe cleaner and put it right through that hole. Except I didn't. And could have done the same thing here. It would just be to help, you know, it would just be to help. So if I didn't have to, you know, wrap that around the whole entire frame, I could have just slid it in there and it just would have been easier. Okay, so we're in, nice and tight. No one's going anywhere. Right? Nothing's shaking, 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 shaking. You see that frame's not going anywhere. Perfect. Okay. Again, we'll play with this. We'll play with all of the, what's that catching on? That's all. Oh, okay. And then we'll put our bow in. Now I'm going to go right down in here for our bow. Right down in there. I'm okay with it covering our sign a little bit. But obviously we don't want to cover a whole bunch. I still want to, you know, make sure I see that it says blessing. And I'm just going through all those layers. And I'm going to pull this in just like I did the sign. You guys, this is so cute. Oh, I wish I had more of these. It is darling. So right this very second, as I'm making these, there is the kit available without the greenery. Okay, so let's find though. Here we go. Make sure our greenery comes out. We can see that there. This is going to go here like this. This is going to go over here like this. There we go. Good, good, good. Just make sure I'm fluffing that all the way. This is so cute. So this goes here, that goes there, this goes here, this goes over here. Let me slide one of those ribbons out of place and you're going to tell. You'll be able to tell really quick. Okay, that one's a little bit long. Let's go ahead and chop that one a little bit. Everything else looks good. This one's a little bit long. Chop it. Super cute. Super cute. Now the last thing I do, the very last thing I do is go through and pull out all those ribbons that I've been talking about, moving around, messing up and moving. I'm going to move those into place for one last time. Now this is where usually the mesh is catching on everything and it's driving me crazy. This is where if the mesh is catching on the mesh, or if the mesh is catching on the ribbons, it helps it stay in place. So I don't mind that part when it's in this stage, right? I don't mind that part, helping it, stay right where I want it to. Coming all out. so cute. Super duper. Absolutely darling. I truly love this one. This might be one of my favorites. This one and the Easter egg one that we have. So cute. So cute. Just making sure everything is coming out. Go in the right direction. No one gets hidden here. Everyone can see you. There we go. Really, really cute. That's all I have. That is super cute. Y'all, thank you very much for watching and for consuming and for commenting and for buying our kits and all those things. So we're sitting at about, let's see how wide we are. We're sitting at about 23, 24 inches right here. Here's our 24-inch mark right here. It's perfect. It's absolutely darling. Up close on that bow. Super cute. Y'all, it's really cute. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're subscribed so that you can see our videos in the future. If you need anything from us, you can find almost anything if you go to learnfrommelissa.com. Learnfrommelissa.com. There you can find our text message number, our email, our some free resources, how to get in the coaching group, how to get in the business group, like so many things. Just go to learnfrommelissa.com, enter in your email address, and it'll give you a list of links that can be serve you and be very helpful. Until next time, I will see you again soon. Bye, y'all.